What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video, where we are reviewing the top 3 attack strategies for the Town Hall 10 3-star here in 2018. So if you find this one helpful, guys, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more Clash of Clans. Now, kicking off here with number 3, we have the BoWitch attack. This is an absolute beast, guys. Go ahead and make sure to drop me a comment down below to let me know what your top 3 is, guys. What do you think our number 1 will be? Now, for the BoWitch attack, this base layout is perfect, guys. You can see how the air defense are all pushed to one side of the base. That makes it brilliant in order to bring a queen walk around the opposite side of the base. You really need to think about what you can get in terms of value, but a queen walk allows you to focus your bowlers and witches into the middle, and it means that, as you will see here, your queen can finish up the raid at the end, and that is very much what will happen in a lot of raids. Your bowlers and witches, send a few of them down that opposite channel. It just means that they can take out the point defense on that corner, and it focuses your bowlers and witches along with that king coming directly through the middle. Now, a lot of the time you will see single target infernos nowadays, so what you may want to do is take a skeleton spell for that back end inferno tower. It all depends on whether you know what's in the CC. You will need a poison spell to take out an enemy balloon, or you might need 2 of them depending on what other troops are in there. But as long as the bowlers and witches coming through the center take out the core defenses, all of them in the middle here, you're good to go, guys. The queen with them healers will finish up these final defenses. As you can see, more often than not, the bowlers and witches coming down the opposite side will indeed help out with that as well. Amazingly, we lost a elixir storage here that we're going to have to go back for, but it doesn't matter. Let's skip through that and get on to the next one, guys. In terms of this attack, you tend to sweep the base from one side to the other, so you tend not to have to worry about cleanup in itself. Let's show you one more example of the BoWitch before we move on to the number 2 attack, which, as a matter of fact, is this one here. Wait for it, guys. What do you think the number 1 and 2 will be? So again, another beautiful example of the BoWitch attack here. Again, a lot of the time here in terms of the meta, because of the Inferno Tower change, you will see single target Infernos. If they're multi-Infernos, guys, this will work exactly the same. However, you might want to bring a heal spell in order to help you out. Now, in terms of that queen walk we talked about in that first replay and the bowlers and witches going down the opposite side, you will have to funnel your troops. Now, you can do that with just a minion or an archer in some cases. Other times you can use a bowler to snipe off many buildings, in this case just purely to help with time, but you can also do that in terms of creating that funnel. Here they come through the center of the base then, and you want to basically bring 2 jump spells for this depending on the base. So we brought 2 on the first one. This second one, because of them long channels, we only bring the 1, and that is because it allows us to get right the way through the base. We don't need that second jump. We have a heal spell instead. There goes that skeleton spell onto the single inferno, and one thing we haven't mentioned as of yet, notice how all of the spells are gone. They're used. The rage spells have already been used. In this case as well, the skeleton spell was nice in terms of keeping the bomb tower off the bowlers for a little bit, but what my point was, guys, is that, as you can see, and as was prevalent in that first attack, this happens all of the time. Your bowlers won't reach the very end of the base. You don't need them to. Your queen is there for that. So you don't want to wait until there's a few bowlers and drop a rage spell on them. Use them early on where there's a massive pact of bowlers. They actually shoot quite far, guys, because of that bounce. And if you have plenty of them with a rage spell on top, they will be protecting themselves. So there you are, guys. That is a quick fire guide on how to use the BoWitch, but let's move on to the number 2 attack, guys. We did a video recently on this, focusing on a few different attacks, but I really wanted to hone things down on these top 3 attacks. Now, for the number 2, I know we mentioned it is this one, but actually, again, we have 2 replays before we move on to the number 1 with 2 replays as well. So here is the number 2 attack, and we're putting it as the Lavaloon, guys. Again, wait for that number 1. It's an absolute beast. Many of you, I'm sure, will know what it is. Now, in terms of the Lavaloon, it works similar but different to the number 1 strategy, which you'll see in a second. Suicide Heroes for the Lavaloon is perfect, guys, because it really helps to set up the raid itself. And in terms of the Lavaloon, there's a few different things. If you can take out the enemy Archer Queen, perfect, guys, take her out. But a lot of the time, bases are designed around that queen, hence she's in the middle here. We wouldn't want to take a massive kill squad and give up on the balloons in the end in order to take that queen. So take what you can from the base. In this case, it's a lot of defenses on the outside to help with the pathing here, and then we can charge straight in towards one of them single infernos and watch what we do with the queen. If you're not taking the queen in that first phase, guys, you will definitely need a skeleton spell. That is key. Now, the haste spells are going to have to be spread around the base. You don't want them overlapping, guys, and a nice wide surgical approach from the balloons. The reason we can bring them in from the east here allows the balloons in the center to move straight forward. I don't want to miss this with the queen though, guys. Rage spell over the top not only helps to power the balloons forward past the queen and get free from her, drop that skeleton spell on top. The rage spell also affects the skeleton spells, any lava pups in the area, and they will take down that queen in a flash. With single target infernos very much being the meta nowadays, maximize on balloons. The last thing you want is plenty of lava pups taking all of that damage. Lava hounds, sorry. Just take the lava hounds as minimally needed, enough to come through. Look at how many balloons are left over. Bring them in from either side so they can close around the defenses on the outside, so that they can then focus on them high damage defenses in the middle, where you're going to be using that rage spell and heal spell. Think of this, I always say, guys, it's a very simple analogy. Think of the base as a star. You do not want balloons going to every point of the star. Bring them in from every point so they can close into the center, and there you have it, smashing out the Town Hall 10 versus Town Hall 10 3-star with Lavaloon. We haven't mentioned at this point, guys, that all of these attacks are from Elite Gaming and our Clash Cup League final against One Hive. And moving on then to the next example of the Lavaloon, before we get into that number 1, here's another example, guys. Always think about the snipes. What can you take out? A single bowler there takes out masses of buildings, takes out that mortar, which not only is going to help with balloon pathing because the balloons aren't going to be attracted to that mortar, he can then bring it through a few other troops in that aren't going to be affected. Look at this, purely with snipes and a few troops, we're at 10% and not even finished. And we've created the funnel for the heroes to come down the side, and just check out, even without healers, anything like that, suicide heroes with a few other troops, look at what we get. We take out stacks of defenses across this side, defenses that would be taking down our balloons, and then as we come forward, we also get many archer towers. I really like the couple of balloons here. Now that one tests if there's going to be anything in the CC, snipes off one of the air defense, so what that means is the lava hounds won't be drawn right the way across the base to that other inferno tower where they will most certainly go down. We don't get the inferno tower, but it doesn't matter. The air defense was the main thing. This means that the lava hounds will path right the way across to the other air defense, and we're basically not losing them going across the base. Again, the similarities are the haste spells coming in on all different angles. As the balloons come forward, then there's that rage spell. As they come together, the rage spell is there, guys, with the skeleton spell on top of the queen, and just look at how quick the balloons come through. Now, the single target inferno can still do a lot of damage, guys, so make sure to get them hasted onto that as quickly as possible. A lot of splash damage at the end here, so the heal spell worked very nicely to cover for all of them. Basically, you need a plan for any splash damage at the end of the base, whether it be a haste spell to get the balloons onto that quickly, a rage spell, whatever the plan is, guys. make sure you have one, because your balloons, although you're bringing them in surgically initially, they will clump up. On this one, because there was 3 wizard towers, a heal spell was very much ideal, and again, the base was planned out correctly that we didn't actually need too many cleanup troops. We'd taken out that side, and as the balloons pushed forward, minions and lava pups took out the rest of them trash buildings. But make sure you are thinking about them trash buildings left over and what you could use, whether it's wizards, minions, whatever, in order to take them out. So here we are, guys, the #1 attack strategy at Town Hall 10. In my opinion, might I say, it's a very, very marginal #1. Lavaloon and Hog Riders are absolute beasts at the moment, but I picked the Hog Riders because they are so beautiful to watch. I mean, just watch these attacks and how amazing they are. There's very much different ways of implementing them, and they can be used against a ton of bases. So as you can see here, it really all depends on what is in the clan castle. Here, baby dragon, witches come out. If there is anything but a lava hound or a golem, you need to take them out, guys. They will trash your Hog Riders. So as we see here, coming forward, taking out the enemy CC, taking out the enemy queen with that kill squad, that's why we needed the golems, in order to allow us to get right into the center of the base. Then the Hog Riders can come in a horseshoe or a C shape, however you want to describe this, right the way around. Now, another important thing is to try and target one of the infernos head on if you can. It's not a necessity depending on the base layout, but it's always good to get that out of the way. And it was very nice that in this case we came in from the side where the splash damage was in terms of the wizard towers, so that we had them hogs already at full health. We have the heal spell ready there in order to keep them up, and then it means towards the end of the base we don't have to worry about splash damage or anything like that. So, again, we will show you one more attack of this, guys. It all depends. You can just use a mass Hog Rider and use suicide heroes, but it depends mainly on what's in the clan castle. If the clan castle troops cannot keep up with your Hog Riders, you don't have to take them out. But if they are anything but a lava hound and a golem, then you need to take that out. You will need to take a rage spell probably for your kill squad, depending on how far you're getting, potentially a jump spell depending on where you're going, but maximize on heal spells. Poison spells obviously key in terms of the CC, and if you have any skeleton traps that pop. If you get towards the end of a raid, guys, and you have many skeleton traps onto your Hog Riders, they will go down quick. So the poison spell, can work well for that. If you know you're not going to need it though, the skeleton spell can work well onto the Inferno Towers, single target Inferno Towers to distract it, but most of the time I would recommend 1 to 2 rage spells and the rest heal spells. On this one then, just check out how much value the queen gets here. Not really having too much in terms of golems to protect, but we do bring the healers as well, because remember, if you can keep the queen away from that single target inferno, you will be good to go, guys. The queen will get so much value for you, so that is where that baby dragon was very important here in order to create that funnel, send her down to the south away from this single inferno. So just make sure you're checking out your queen walk or queen charge, because you can get right into the base, and as you'll see on this one, take out them key defenses in terms of the CC and the queen, so that the Hog Riders basically have a much easier ride. One test wall breaker there, very nice in order to just check there wasn't a spring trap or giant bombs or anything, not giant bombs, a regular bomb, so that the regular wall breakers come in, they bust it open so the queen can get in, take out the enemy queen, and then as she steps forward here, we will indeed get the CC, only just mine, but it was very much in the plan. There goes them final wall breakers to help the queen that bit further in, get the lure from the CC, take that down. As you can see, again, it is not a lava hound or a golem, so we needed to take that down before the Hog Riders, and then at this point we have narrowed the base. We might not have got a traditional C shape around the base, but as long as you can control your Hog Riders, that is the main thing. So as you can see, they're going to push forward, come to this area of the base, but they're basically all going to move around the same way here, and basically what that does is mean that you can use your heal spells on as many Hog Riders as possible. Here's what we were talking about in terms of the similarities. The Hog Riders, being a defense targeting troop, will move right the way around the base, so bring in Hog Riders if necessary to take out certain sections. As we move around here then, we still have a heal spell. You can see the deadly effect of the skeleton traps onto the Hog Riders. We used that poison spell earlier to try and take them down, but it just depends on how many there are, guys. And if you don't have your heal spells, they go down pretty quick, so make sure you can get them. On this one though, not an issue. Queen using the ability at the end to get through that single target Inferno just helps the Hog Riders to get up towards that Tesla, and again, Hog Riders are very quick. Think about cleanup troops. We have plenty of minions on this one, but if done correctly and sweep through the base, you should be good to use the Hog Riders to clean up, guys. So there you go. My top 3 are BoWitch, Lavaloon, and Hog Riders for Town Hall 10, 3 stars. Let me know yours down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more Clash of Clans. I've been your host, Judo Sloth though, and until next time, peace out, guys.